ever just looked up at the night sky and really wondered if it just goes on forever? Like, is there an edge? And if there is, what happens if you get there? Well, today, we're going to dive into one of the biggest, most mind-bending questions we can possibly ask.
So, this is it. This is the big one. Is our universe a finite thing, something you could theoretically measure, or does it actually stretch out into a true, honest-to-goodness infinity? This is one of those amazing questions where, the possible answers are somehow even stranger than the question itself. To even begin to wrap our heads around this, we're going to go on a little cosmic road trip. First, we'll start with the edge of what we can actually see. Then we'll explore the idea of a universe with no borders at all. We'll peek into a kind of cosmic hall of mirrors, think about this wild idea of an infinite echo. And finally, we'll bring it all back home to our place in all this cosmic madness. Okay, before we just launch ourselves into the really weird stuff, we've got to start with what we actually know. What can we observe? Because, as it turns out, there is an edge to our universe. Just probably not the kind you're picturing. Think about it like this. The universe had a starting pistol, right? The Big Bang. And light, well, it travels at a set speed. It's fast, but it's not instant. So we're basically sitting in the middle of this giant bubble, and we can only see the stars and galaxies whose light has had enough time to make the journey all the way to our telescopes. Anything outside that bubble, it's out there, but its light hasn't reached us yet. We're totally blind to it. We know the universe is roughly 14 billion years old, so it's pretty logical to think that our cosmic bubble is 14 billion light years in every direction. I mean, that makes perfect sense, right? But it's not quite right. And here's the kicker. While that ancient light was traveling towards us for billions of years, space itself wasn't just sitting still. It was stretching. It was expanding. This means that the galaxy that sent that light 14 billion years ago is now way, way farther away from us, about 45 billion light years to be more precise. So our little bubble of sight is way bigger than you'd think. So the real universe is definitely bigger than what we can see. But the question is, how much bigger? And this is where we come to a fork in the road, leading to two incredible possibilities. Is it just really, really, really big, but ultimately finite? Or is it truly infinite, just going on and on forever? Let's check out that first option.
So if the universe is finite, it's got to have an edge, right? Like a cosmic brick wall where everything just stops. But then you have to ask, what's on the other side of the wall? The whole idea kind of breaks your brain, but, well, physics has a really clever, really elegant workaround for this problem. To make this easier to picture, let's shrink things way, way down. I want you to imagine a tiny little ant, and it lives on the surface of a huge orange. For our purposes, this ant is us. It's humanity. Now, from this ant's point of view, its world is a flat, two-dimensional surface that seems to stretch out forever in every direction. The ant has no concept of up or down off the orange, just like we can't really perceive a fourth spatial dimension. To the ant, the horizon just looks flat and endless. So let's say our ant decides to go on an adventure. It picks a direction and just starts walking. It never turns, never deviates from its path, just keeps moving forward in what it thinks is a perfectly straight line across its flat little world. And here's the punchline. After walking for a really long time, the ant would be completely shocked to find itself right back where it began. Its world is finite. You could paint the whole surface of the orange, but it has no edge. It has no border. The ant could walk forever, and it would never, ever fall off. Okay, now let's scale that idea all the way back up. Our universe could be what's called a hypersphere. It means our three-dimensional space is curved back on itself in a fourth dimension that we can't see or interact with. If this were true, you could hop in a spaceship, fly in a perfectly straight line for long enough, and you wouldn't hit a wall. You'd just end up right back at Earth. A finite universe, but with no edge. And if you thought that was strange, it gets so much weirder. Some models even suggest the universe might be shaped like a hyperdonut. In a universe like that, space isn't the same in every direction. Light from a single galaxy could take multiple different paths to reach you, creating a bizarre cosmic hall of mirrors. I mean, you could literally see a star being born in one part of the sky, and then turn around and in the opposite direction, see that exact same star dying, just because the light took a much, much longer way around to get to you. All right, let's take a deep breath. Those finite models are mind-bending, for sure. But now we have to talk about the other possibility, the one that, believe it or not, most cosmological models actually lean towards. What if the universe is truly, genuinely infinite?
This immediately brings up a huge paradox. We know for a fact the universe is expanding. But wait, if it's already infinite, how can it get any bigger? Well, in this case, expansion doesn't mean it's expanding into some empty space. It just means the distance between any two galaxies is constantly growing. Even an infinite space can stretch. Yeah, welcome to the weird world of infinity. So imagine you're back in that spaceship, traveling for an unimaginable amount of time through this endless cosmos. You'd see things we can't even dream of: new stars, new galaxies, maybe even new forms of life. But after all of that, what is the single most special, most shocking thing you could possibly run into out there? An exact copy of you. Yeah, watching this exact same explainer at this exact moment. It sounds like something straight out of science fiction, I know. But in a truly infinite universe, it's not just possible, it's a statistical likelihood. But how? Okay, let's unpack this staggering idea, because the existence of cosmic doppelgangers isn't just a fun little thought experiment. It's a direct consequence of combining a few pretty simple ideas on an absolutely massive scale. Here's the logic. Everything in our observable universe is made of a finite number of types of particles, and there's a finite number of ways you can arrange them. Now, that number of combinations is ridiculously, mind-bogglingly huge, but it is not infinite. So if you have an infinite amount of space to play with, those finite combinations are mathematically bound to repeat. But don't pack your bags just yet. The estimated distance to find an exact copy of you and Earth is a number so big it's basically meaningless, times the size of our entire observable universe. It's so far it might as well be forever. Wow. Okay. We have journeyed from finite cosmic donuts to infinite echoes of ourselves. These are fascinating, incredible ideas. But for now, they're also untestable. They're on the very edge of science, almost tipping over into pure philosophy. So let's bring our focus back, from the edge of imagination to the edge of what we can actually know. And this really brings us back to our reality. You know, whether the true universe is a hypersphere or a never-ending expanse, our practical universe, the only one we can ever interact with or get information from, is our observable universe. And it does have a boundary, not a wall in space, but an edge in time. It's us, looking all the way back to the dawn of creation. And let's be honest, even if our bubble seems small compared to some of these other ideas, it is still incomprehensibly vast. I mean, it holds something like 200 billion galaxies, and each of those has hundreds of billions of stars. It is more than big enough to contain every hope, every dream, every discovery, and every adventure that humanity could ever possibly imagine. So in the end, maybe the most important question isn't whether the universe is literally infinite. Maybe it's realizing that the piece of it we get to see is, for all intents and purposes, infinitely enough for us. The real question is, what are we going to choose to do with it? What wonders will we discover, and what will we become here in our own cosmic home?